Very good evening friends, and in this video we are going to learn something about the basic concepts of the Vue.js. So till now you have seen how to design these kind of menus and this grid. Right now we also discussed about the forms. Now we are returning back to the basics. So here I open my folder, and then inside this folder I want to start one basic component. Now I'm returning back to the roots, to the basics, to the very fundamental concepts of the Vue. So here let me create one component. I call it as basic dot view. So this component is created. Now what to do, that you simply add snippet VBase and use VBase CSS snippet here, and there you simply just write one header and name as basic features. So this is my h3 close. So now the component is ready with only one h3 tag which have the text basic feature. Now add to the main application. So I go to my home.vue.js, and inside this home.js first I have to import. So import basic. So import basic from, then single quotes @components and the name of the component with the extension basic.view. So here then you have to register this in this component section, and there I write the name, that is basic. So it is an ending with the semicolon, not semicolon here. Once it is done, here you come into this structure, and there you write, you can use this as basic HTML tag, so with the name basic. Now this is done, just save. So it is showing some import my grid. Okay, sometime it takes time, there is no error. Okay, so this is ready now. So I refresh my web browser, and there you will see this basic feature is there. So it is now working properly. So what I do, that suppose if I want to add some more feature, this is called, I want to text this v-text equal. Then if I write here some information here inside this default, because I want to use v-text, so I want to use a text, but text is not there. So inside this data section, make it a return. So return, and there you define a text. I call it as my text, and this is my text, full stop, and then you ending with semicolon. So this is ready. Now here I type my text. So there you see that this basic feature is already a text, and now I'm saying that the display v text. So what will happen, there is already one text, so this will show definitely some error, or it will simply print it. Now let's see what it says, that Vue compiler will override element children. So here this my text is there. So it is saying that this will override this text, means if it runs anyhow, suppose if you force it to work, then this will override. So now suppose if I remove it, then this text will be displayed. So this, you can say, this is a dynamic way of rendering the text, like I can dynamically, programmatically, depending on certain situation, I'm adding these feature. Now you can use HTML also. So if I change this my text, as I take another variable, data variable, my HTML, and inside this I use a simple list. So here I write UL and then LI, and this is mango. So there I write sufficient. So now it is closing UL, and this is orange, and here I can use banana. So I am rendering HTML elements, so all this should be in a single quote. And here at the place of H3, suppose if I use a paragraph there and write v-html equals double quote, you just type the name, that is my HTML. So closing P, because this paragraph already have. But suppose if I want to add some text here, this is my paragraph. Now save and refresh the browser. So again the same kind of situation, it says that this will override the element this. So there it does not make any sense. So what I do, that if I make this as UL, suppose, and this is my closing UL, and here I keep this blank, and here I use only list part of the component, then it will display them in this form. Like see this mango, orange and banana with this dot. So if you want to remove that dot here in this style, you simply write UL, and there you write list style type none, list style type is none. Then you will see that those dots will vanish. So this is gone. So this is called rendering the HTML. You can use paragraph, you can use the tiny bit of code, because otherwise you are using this template. So right now, suppose if I inspect the element, so you will find that right now we have one HTML and there is one division with the ID app where all these things are embedded. And if you see this part, so the first part, if you see here, HTML part, there you see this is no script, and here you have this division, container, fluid, and all those elements which we are adding, they are coming in this section. So we have one navigation, then we have this and right now we just added one list. So where it is, so this is my text. Now there you see this is dynamically rendering these list elements, mango, orange and banana. So this is why we are creating a DOM structure. Now right now I return back to this structure and I try to add a logical variable or boolean type, I mean to say that. Then here I write is in a disabled. This is disabled button. This is normally used for button, and right now I set it true. So there, here I type button and say enabled, and this is button. So you will see a button with the text enabled on it, and one error. Why? Okay, I think in hurry we missed something. So UL, so there, list starting closing, list starting closing, list starting closing is fine. Now is disabled true is fine. So where it is in this basic, oh, this spelling is wrong. So BUTTON. So now I save and refresh. So there you see this button enabled, that is clickable. So here if I use the snippet V dash enable disabled, is disabled or disabled, V dash bind, and then we can use disabled, V dash bind disabled. If it is true, then it will be disabled. So this is V bind disabled, V bind disabled, and there which variable to look for? So is disabled. So is disabled. Oh, spelling wrong, disabled and disabled, yes. So right now it should be here. I think we have to refresh it. Then what will happen? Now you see, I was thinking something else. That is disabled when it is true, and if you make it false, then this will become enabled. Yes. So different, like suppose if you have certain features like login and register, and if you want the user like these buttons to be enabled, disabled depending on whether the user is logged in or not, so you can use these kind of features. So these are the one of the primitive features of this, and we can also add some IDs to them. So here right now you see that I have H3 which renders a text, but it does not have any ID. So there I can use the V bind. So I write here V bind and then ID equal to, this is, I name it as my title. So this ID is my title, and this is not this here. I have to write my title, and there I can use a text called my H3. So there I write semicolon. So my title, and since okay, so the my text is there, and I say hash my H3, and then I provide the color to be red. Then you will see that now see the text color has changed to red. So it means that I am rendering this my title. First of all, here my text, this is my text in H3 X3 tag, and H3 tag has no data here. So whatever I am displaying, this text is displayed with the H3, and it now binds dynamically with a style called my style. ID is my style, and my style is, this is connected to a string, and that is my H3. Since we know that the IDs are the ways of localizing or to find out the elements of the given ID. So here I added one CSS feature to this, and that is applied to that element. So I write font size is 20 pixel. Now save, refresh, so the font size now changes. Okay, you can also use isClass method. isClass method means, suppose here I have a paragraph. Let me create this paragraph P. This is the paragraph with some styling added to it. So this is my paragraph, this is the closing tag. Now here I want to use the vBind class. So we'll use vBind class equal to my class. This is just a way of, now this my class is data variable. So my class, here you can say my para. So the my class is now linked to my para, and now I add this my para as dot because this is a class. So my para, and then I write color is blue, semicolon. So if I refresh, there you see this is shown as blue. Now if I say that I want display of this element to be stopped, so now you see refresh and this display is gone. Suppose if I add that if this button is clicked, like if this enabled button is clicked, so I write v on click equals show. So I have one show me, so I have one function show me, and this I haven't designed yet. So inside this is the data section, and the data, after data you have two starting curly brackets. So here at this end I'll create another section called as methods, and inside this method section I have, inside this method section I have a method called show me, and inside this one I change this my class. So this dot my class equal to my para 1. I linked it to another style, and this my para 1 is another class, this my para 1, and there here I write display in block. So it means I want it to be displayed again. So how everything works now, just look at the chronology. So if you just click on the show me button, then the show me button will change the class from my para to my para 1. So my para is displaying the same here, and here I change the color also. Color is maroon or this crimson color. So let's see how it is working. So refresh the web browser, and there you see if I click on this enabled, then this is coming back with a different color.